We are here with one of the most accomplished athletes in Louisiana history, a fellow LSU Tiger, Andrew Whitworth, who is doing something special with Pepsi. You're gonna crown the best seafood boil.
Yeah, baby.
Right here, home state gentlemen. You're gonna help the Northerners and the Yankees decide what the best seafood boil ever is. Tell us what you got going on with him.
Yeah, Pepsi wanted to host the first ever Super Bowl boil. So obviously being in New Orleans, state of Louisiana, we know a little bit about that, fellowshipping around a good pot of crawfish or shrimp boils. And so we're going to hold it tomorrow, Friday, 12 to 2. A little competition between Mr. Shrimps and Crawling Seafood. And we'll crown champion. I'll judge it. We'll have a contest. The winning restaurant's going to get $10,000, cold cash, a little award, and this paddle.
How many?
If I give it up. I don't know if I want to get rid of this thing.
I was about to say, why would you? This seems like something that you would want to keep.
It is kind of nice. I want to keep it.
What are you looking for?
You know, listen, I'm going into it. I understand. You know, it just kind of hit me. There's pressure here. One of these places is going to be upset that I don't pick them as the winner. So, there's a lot of pressure. I think one of the key things I've learned, some people have given me some advice. One of them is I don't think I'm eating tomorrow morning because I want to go in hungry.
Right.
And I think that what I'll probably do is try and blind test it first. And then just kind of say which one I want. And then I'm going to want to kind of know who's what, because I want to know the strategy. I want to know what they do, tell the difference. I want to make sure it's both crawfish or both shrimp. I don't want to mix. So we'll see what happens.
So I got to ask you about a big controversy that happened last year on Twitter.
Yeah.
Between LSU Twitter and ULM Twitter. Okay. Actually, ULL Twitter. There was a video of ULL, and they were making crawfish for their athletes. And after the crawfish came out, one of the guys from ULL dusted his crawfish after the crawfish came out.
Yep.
LSU Twitter and ULL Twitter, which don't get along, which I did not realize.
I didn't know that either.
It's a big beef. They jumped all over ULL about dusting their crawfish after it was already out. Where do you stand on dusting seafood, dusting crawfish after it has already been boiled and out of the pot?
Yeah, I don't know if I like the dusting after. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know if I'm down with that.
Okay.
That's not my style. I don't think so.
You played so long in the league, Andrew. We were talking about the fact that you were on the 2003 BCS National Championship team.
Yep.
That's Michael Clayton. That's Justin Vincent.
Yeah.
You're going back always. That's Matt Malk.
Yeah.
What was the secret to your longevity in the NFL?
It's crazy. I mean, I sit back now, I even think about it, to think I played in 3 different decades. It's just insane. I mean, to think of what the NFL was from 2006 to 2010, and then from 11 to 20, and then 21, it's just totally different, and so the game has evolved so much, and I had to evolve with it. And so I think one of the things like that, to your point of being able to survive and stay, is I was always trying to adapt and grow my game into where the game was headed and what was going to be needed of me and my body and the things I needed to be able to do. And so, obviously you need a lot of things to go your way, a lot of blessings, but there's also a lot of hard work and intentional work of putting yourself in a position to be able to thrive and survive.
When did you know that it was time to go?
For me, it never really became physical. It was more that my last year, probably during the season, I just started to I didn't enjoy sitting at work and watching tape and doing all that. I just kind of got bored with it. I got bored with some of that and sitting in the meetings all day long. Because, that's the one thing about football that's so different than all the other professional sports. The time you spend in meeting rooms and at work all day not playing the actual game way outweighs the actual game performances. So you spend way more time with all that stuff, and eventually I just think some veteran players just get exhausted with sitting at work, sitting in meetings, listening, blah 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 blah. And that's kind of how I was. I just kind of got bored with that, and I was like, you know what, it's time. I don't enjoy coming to work every day as much, so I need to move on.
What is the transition to being a media figure after watching people talk about the game for so long, talk about football for so long while you're playing it and grinding it? what has the transition been like for you to now be someone who talks about the game and talks about other things?
I've tried my best to really, be myself. And I think that that's really what my ultimate goal was. I see people do it a lot of different ways. I'm not here to give crazy takes. I'm not here to get attention, which I think a lot of guys do. I think a lot of guys, their points of view or takes are really about attention and reaction. I'm just not into that. I'm into what I truly believe and I think represents who I am and really what I think is right about the game of football or wrong about the game of football. And I feel free to share it. If I don't think a guy's doing things the way I think it should be done or leadership and maybe his approach to it, I might question it. And if I think they are doing it, I want to praise it. And I want to say, hey, this dude he deserves your attention or this team or this franchise deserves your attention. And so I just try to be authentically me. And if people like it, great. If they don't, oh well. I'm going to go home to my family and chill with my people, and I'm going to play golf, and I'm going to do what I do regardless. So I just try to be myself in everything I do, and that's who I was as a player and a leader as well, and I don't plan on changing that.
As an offensive lineman, you got to tell us one thing. Why is the tush push so effective now? Why are a couple of teams, able to seemingly get a yard, sometimes 2 yards, almost at will when you look at what Buffalo is able to do and what the Eagles are able to do?
Well, I think it's a mix of the people they have doing it and the technique. I mean, you think the Eagles, I think Jeff Stoutland's arguably one of the best O-line coaches really in the last 20, 30 years. He's unbelievable. And really his success level he's been on this run with, to this group, they have really been a special group throughout his time. And so to think of what he's been able to do there, and then that group, how they're built, the way their size, and then Jalen, how he's built.
Yeah.
That makes it such a force. I mean, he's literally built like a running back. So him taking that snap is like having your running back under center with his strength and power and everything else. And then you look at Buffalo, same thing. I mean, Aaron Cromer, another great offensive line coach, really good group that played special this year. And then Josh Allen, an absolute freak. Again, if you're going to give the ball to anybody in those situations, he's a freak of nature himself. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of the guys that are taking those snaps and then also the groups and how they're led.
Last question, and I got to go a little west here. I got to go to Baton Rouge. I love sports. Love the Saints. Love the NFL. I love basketball. I love the Lakers. There's nothing that I love in sports even halfway as much as I love LSU football.
All right.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that's on Tiger droppings. I'm one of those people following kids, like looking at them when they get in the 9th grade, and they're from Metairie, they're from New Iberia, they're from West Monroe. I'm looking at them. I'm trying to figure it out. Right now, I need to believe that LSU will make the college football playoff.
Okay.
In the next couple of
seasons. Do you believe
seasons.
that?
I think with what we've done in the transfer portal.
By the way, he's asked the question. I don't know if he believes it, but I'm hoping.
With what we've done in the transfer portal this year, with Garrett Nussmeier coming back,
okay,
we've lost.
Talk to me. I need something.
We've lost a lot of offensive production. We lost both tackles, Emory Jones, and we lost Will Campbell. But I believe that the team with the coaching staff, particularly Blake Baker on the defense and all that, Blake Baker, should I say, on the defense and all of that, I believe we can make the playoff this year.
Okay.
Do you believe LSU can make the playoff this year?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't follow a lot of college football. I watch LSU games. That's about it. So I don't know where they stack up against other teams. But I do believe in Blake Baker. I do think that, with the quarterback coming back, that's obviously a massive thing in college football right now with how much change we got. But listen, at some point, they've got to start to perform like legacy was left before them. And we got to see that, and I think it's an important year for Brian Kelly and this group to really instill some confidence in this fan base and LSU fans and go out there and perform the way that, has been done before them. Because to me, like I've always said this, you can't take for granted sometimes the special years. And, when Nick Saban came here, the change he made at LSU, people, I think last year when he was coming back with game day, it was like, somebody asked me the question of should he ever be welcomed back? I'm like, should he ever be welcomed back? They're who they are because he came there. You better welcome him back. I don't care what happened at Alabama. the truth is, if Nick Saban, when he came there, changed LSU for forever.
Yeah.
And every guy that's there now and the success they've had was changed because of him. It became a place where the standard became competing for national championships. And now Brian Kelly's got to show us that under his regime, they can go do that. So to me, I think it's a really important year that they put themselves in that conversation.
Thank you so much, man. And I hope that you do a great job, judging the Super Bowl boil. Like, not everybody can be a winner, but if you're eating in New Orleans, you've pretty much already won.
You're dang right about that. We're going to have some ice cold Pepsis. We're going to eat some shrimp and crawfish. I'm going to probably have a couple potatoes and corn because I'm a potatoes and corn guy. Make my own little special sauce, but we'll talk about that another time. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So tomorrow, Friday, 12 to 2, come have a good time with us.
All right, my brother.
Appreciate it.
Peace.